Hello everyone, welcome back to our lessons, continue in the web design. So today we are going to continue with CSS. CSS is a programming language that we use to design or decorate the web page with the HTML elements. So the first one is syntax. The syntax of the CSS is, as you can see in the text, is selector and we have left curly bracket, properties, value, and we close the bracket. So we can have many properties inside the brackets. Example, we select on the header or we select on the text and then we apply the properties and with the value. Like the property, we want the text to be aligned in the center, so we use the property text align. Value center, if we want the text to align right, we can use right instead of the center, and we can use another properties like font size, and then value is 20 pixels, 40 pixel according to the size that you want. It means that you apply the size of the font. So in order CSS with the HTML, so HTML is the markup language which structure elements to form the website. It means that HTML is just only the elements in order to form a website. So we use CSS, we use selector to select on a specific element. It means that the CSS select on the HTML elements, and then we apply the style decoration depend on the properties. As I explained you here, selector property value. It means that the selector is to specify selection of the HTML elements, and we apply the properties with the value. So how to use CSS? There are three ways to use CSS for HTML. The first one is inline, second one is internal, and third external. So I will explain you one by one with the three ways of using CSS. And now we can see important properties: text align, font size, width, height, margin, padding, display, and there are many properties of the CSS. You can doing research or you can search on the website or Google, especially W3 School. There are many properties that you can use, but here are the importance that I just want to show you. So now let's get into the practice. So first of all, you need to open the folder that you have the index file. Here is the last time we learned about HTML. We learned about the tag, H1 tag, P tag, and we have list, and we have image, we have table, we have button, we have anchor tag that we click and then we direct to somewhere. Now I go back. So now we are going to continue using apply the CSS in this file in order to decorate this markup in order to look cool. So this is the display file on the browser. So I need to open this on the Visual Studio Code in order to edit the text. So I go for the command line and I say code dot. It means that you are open Visual Studio Code with the current directory project. So I can close this. Now the Visual Studio Code pop up. Just wait because my laptop is just a little bit slow. I can, okay, which one? I think that's the same. Yep, this file. And then I can drag this to be aside. Yep. I can now I can see here the document. Now I can change it to CSS. I refresh it. Yeah, now the title is CSS. Yeah. So I am going to see the slide. As you can see, the first one, how to use CSS, is inline. So what does it mean inline? It means that which line that you're gonna apply the style. So now I want to apply style for this New York City. Here, this the line. So when you want to apply style, you can get into the tag inside the bracket of the elements tag, and then you say style equal to double quote, and you write the properties and value as you can see here. Here the syntax: selector and property, selector and property. But this is inline. We don't use selector because we already specify the style with this line, with this element. So we don't use selector anymore. We use only property with value. So now I want the New York City. I apply with this. What you want it to be? You want it to be change color. So I use property color. Here color, and I click. I tap enter. Then you're gonna choose color. So now if I want to use the tool, I can click it to take the color, but now I want to use red. I tap it red, red. So now the style color red is applied with the New York City element. You can refresh it, you see now it's displayed as red. And you can use many properties in one line. So now I use font size, one more property, font size. Here I click on font size, and then I want it to be bigger, so I use 50 pixel. Refresh it to see, yeah, it's become bigger. And you also can use more property. Now I go to check the important tag align. Okay, so now tag align. Now the tag is on the left, but I want the tag to be in the middle, so I use tag align, then I specify it, the value it to center. So now the New York will float to here. Boom, it's in the middle, in the center. So when you want to apply style for this, you're gonna open the style inline with the p tag style, and then now I use color and then use blue. You see now it become blue. This is the inline. So mostly the inline style is not being used for many people, for developer when the project become bigger and larger. When we scale, the project is bigger, we use internal or external. Because why? Because example, like I want this China and country to have the same style as here. You have to copy. Example, now I will do it for you. You copy here, and then you apply here. You refresh here, and you can imagine if there are hundreds of this style, 100 tags, and you want to change, like now it is red and you want to change it to blue. You change it, and then it change only one, but the China and country doesn't change. Example, like you have 100 tags or element in the HTML, you have to go one by one, and you going to change like this. You see? But when you use the internal or external, you're gonna use this kind of syntax of CSS. It's selector. It means that you select the H1. It means all the tag H1 gonna apply the same style. So now let's see the how it does it work. So now I delete this style, and I don't apply this style on the H1, and I don't apply this style on the New York. So now I can refresh back, it become normal. Okay, so in order to use internal, you open the style tag inside the header, the head tag here, style, then close, and then you can follow the syntax of selector. So now you want to apply this style to this, what tag is it? You're gonna select on h1, right? You want to select on h1, and the follow the syntax is open and close curly bracket, and then you apply the property. You want to apply property color blue, and you want to apply property font size 50 pixel. And now let's guess what happened when I refresh the page. It's gonna apply with this, and it's gonna apply with this as well. You see, because you select h1, it means all the h1 inside the body tag is going to apply with the same style as here. So now, like, I want to change it to red, so when I refresh, it's gonna change this and then this as well. You see? So now I want to apply the p tag here, the p tag, this one, and this one also p tag. So now I already apply the inline style for this p, and when I select p tag and apply the color to red, and this one become red, and I think this one doesn't change, because what? Because the inline style has the more prioritize of the style to the tag. If I delete this, so it means it doesn't apply the style, the inline style, to become blue, so it will apply with this style, it will become red. You see? Yeah, this we call selector, the tag selector. But for example, like now, this is the p tag, and this is also the p tag, but I want to apply only this p, but I don't want to apply this p. So how can you specify it? Which this one? So you have to give it the name. Like if, for example, in the real life, you call a person with the name, so you can know that he is John, he is Brad, he is Raphael or something. So we have to give the name to the element. Now I want to apply for this, I give the name to this. The term of giving name is ID. It means the ID. You give the ID to the p tag. I say the ID p China, because I want to specify China here. Inside the China, I just give the name p China. So when I use selector, now I can delete this. When I use selector, I can select with the ID. But in order to specify, to mention the ID, you have to use the sharp symbol and followed by the name of the ID, p China, and then you can apply the style. Now I apply the style color. I use this one. I can click. Now I can refresh. You see, it applied the p tag here, this one, but for this it doesn't apply, it's become normal. This is the term, the ID. We give the name to the tag, and then we call the name, and we apply the style. And one more thing, as you know, the ID is unique, right? ID is unique like your ID card, but we have another term is we call class. It means class, like class, it means like one class in the classroom. You can imagine, like in the classroom, it means that all the students study the same subject with the same teacher. It means that class will apply with the same style. It the same term of the ID, it give the name to the tag, but for the ID only have unique name on the unique tag. So now I want to give the class to this h2. This h2 is this one, right? Yeah, so I just say class 1, give it the name class 1, and this p tag also have the name class 1. It meant that this p tag and this h2 tag are in the same class, because the class name are the same. So when we use the selector to give the style to the class 1, it will apply this P and apply this H2. But like you see here, the symbol sharp is specify the ID, but the class we use the dot symbol, class 1. Now I can apply. I say color, and I can use this purple. Okay, and then now I can refresh. You see here, this P tag here, class 1, and H2 class 1 as well, it become purple. So now you can understand how we use the style, but you only know the last property. Now you know only color and font size. So now I can apply some more property to this in order to make you more understand. So take a line here, take a line, center, it will load to center here, H1, because this one also H1, right? So it apply both. And I want it to be bold, so I say bold. No, we don't use the property bold. It is weight, right? Font weight 100. Is it font weight? Yes, font weight. So I want it to be bold. I use bigger number. You see? So I use like this. And one more attribute, one more property. I will see this slide. Margin and padding. Margin, it means that you got how the space of one element to another element. For now example, like we use this, so there is zero margin between this element and this element. So when I apply margin, it means that it's gonna have some space between this. I want it to be 50 pixels in the margin. So when I refresh, it's gonna push some space for me here. As you can see, now you can see even the top. But if you want only the margin on the bottom, you can say margin bottom. The margin on the top, it doesn't apply. So when you refresh, it will push back to the top, but the space here is still the same. See, and this we call property. And in order to learn the property, you can go to the website W3 School. Now example, I go to the home page, and then you go to learn HTML, and you scroll down to the HTML references. Here we have list tag list. This is HTML, I'm sorry. So we go to CSS, and then we go down to the references, and we say CSS references, and here you can see a lot of properties. Align, bold, background, you can see background, border, and you want to know how does it work, you can click on it, and it will have the example for you. You just say click on, try it yourself. It will load the tool for you, and you can read the HTML and read the style, how does it apply, and then the result is here, and then make you understand. So now I will apply the background for my New York City. Here H1 background. I use black. Background is black. Boom, you see, background is becoming black. And I recommend you to use this website as the reference. You can learn more, you can learn a lot by looking up to the property, and it's easy for you because it has the tool like here. when you click on it, it will give the example code for you and see the result, so it makes you very easy to understand. So thank you for your spending time with me for this course, and I hope you enjoy it and you can learn a lot. So let's see you on the next video of JavaScript.